What if the Tampa Bay Lightning traded Steven Stamkos? It's crazy to think of the Tampa Bay Lightning trading Steven Stamkos right now, but there was a time when that wasn't the case. In 2016, Steven Stamkos was a UFA, and he hadn't committed to re-signing long-term with the Lightning. The Lightning could have played it safe and traded Steven Stamkos, rather than lose him for nothing. What if the Tampa Bay Lightning traded Steven Stamkos? How would it impact the NHL? The best time to trade Steven Stamkos would be at the 2015 draft, because it is a deep draft and the Lightning wouldn't be trading him for a rental price. A 3-team trade is made between the Tampa Bay Lightning, Detroit Red Wings, and Columbus Blue Jackets. Tampa Bay Lightning get Ryan Johansson, Riley Sheahan, and a first-round pick in 2015. Detroit Red Wings get Steven Stamkos and Josh Anderson. Columbus Blue Jackets get Gustav Nyquist, Evgeny Svechnikov, Valtteri Filppula, and a first-round pick in 2016. Detroit Red Wings re-signed Steven Stamkos to an 8-year deal worth $10.5 million per season. The Edmonton Oilers don't trade for Griffin Reinhart, so they keep their first and second-round picks. At the 2015 draft, the Boston Bruins trade pick 13, 15, 37, and a second-round pick in 2016 to the Arizona Coyotes for pick 3. Changes in the 2015 draft. Boston Bruins select Mitch Marner, Toronto Maple Leafs draft Mikko Rantanen, New Jersey Devils draft Dylan Strome, Colorado Avalanche draft Pavel Zacha, Winnipeg Jets draft Sebastian Aho, Tampa Bay Lightning draft Robe Hintz, Minnesota Wild draft Colin White, Ottawa Senators draft Jack Roslovic, and the Dallas Stars draft Jordan Greenway. Arizona Coyotes draft Kyle Connor, Joel Eriksson-Ek, and Brandon Carlo in the 2015 draft. Some other trades are made in the 2015 offseason. Another 3-team trade is made between the Toronto Maple Leafs, St. Louis Blues, and Carolina Hurricanes. Toronto Maple Leafs get Elias Lindholm, Victor Rask, a first-round pick in 2016, and a second-round pick in 2016. St. Louis Blues get Tyler Bozak. Carolina Hurricanes get Phil Kessel. Ottawa Senators trade Mika Zibanejad and a first-round pick in 2017 to the Nashville Predators for Seth Jones. Pittsburgh Penguins acquire Thomas Vanek from the Minnesota Wild for David Perron and a second-round pick in 2017. Winnipeg Jets trade Andrew Ladd to the Colorado Avalanche for a second-round pick in 2016 and a second-round pick in 2018. Columbus Blue Jackets re-signed Gustav Nyquist to a 4-year deal worth $4.75 million per season. This is how the 2015-16 season plays out. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Florida Panthers and Detroit Red Wings. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and New York Rangers. The New York Islanders hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Ottawa Senators hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Boston Bruins, Philadelphia Flyers, Montreal Canadiens, Carolina Hurricanes, New Jersey Devils, Columbus Blue Jackets, Buffalo Sabres, and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Central Division are the Dallas Stars, followed by the St. Louis Blues and Chicago Blackhawks. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Anaheim Ducks, followed by the LA Kings and San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Minnesota Wild hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Colorado Avalanche, Arizona Coyotes, Calgary Flames, Winnipeg Jets, Vancouver Canucks, and Edmonton Oilers. The Washington Capitals end up winning the Stanley Cup in 6 games over the San Jose Sharks. At the 2016 draft, a few changes take place. The 13th pick in the 2016 draft belongs to the Toronto Maple Leafs. This pick was acquired in the Phil Kessel trade. The 27th pick in the 2016 draft belongs to the Columbus Blue Jackets. This pick was acquired in the Steven Stamkos trade. Instead of trading Ryan O'Reilly, the Colorado Avalanche re-signed him to an 8-year deal worth $7.5 million per season. At the 2016 draft, the Edmonton Oilers trade pick 4 to the Arizona Coyotes for pick 7, 49, and a second-round pick in 2017. Changes in the 2016 draft. Arizona Coyotes draft Matthew Tkachuk. Calgary Flames draft Jesse Puljujarvi, Edmonton Oilers draft Clayton Keller, Toronto Maple Leafs draft Jacob Chichurin, Arizona Coyotes draft Jake Bean, Columbus Blue Jackets draft Alex DeBrincat, Chicago Blackhawks draft Brett Howden, and the Edmonton Oilers draft Ryan Lindgren. The PK Subban Shea Weber trade still occurs, but the Oilers make a different trade for Taylor Hall. A 3-team trade is made between the Detroit Red Wings, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Edmonton Oilers. Detroit Red Wings get Taylor Hall, Columbus Blue Jackets get Pavel Datsyuk, Thomas Tatar, and a 3rd-round pick in 2018. Edmonton Oilers get Andreas Athanasiou, William Karlsson, the rights to Justin Abdelkader, and a 1st-round pick in 2017. Boston Bruins trade David Krejci to the Arizona Coyotes for Christian Dvorak, Anthony Duclair, and Jared Tenori. Boston Bruins acquire Philip Deneau from the Chicago Blackhawks for a third-round pick in 2017. Ottawa Senators trade Kyle Turris, Frederick Claesson, Nick Paul, Chris Drager, and a first-round pick in 2017 to the Colorado Avalanche for Matt Duchene and Mark Barberio. Pittsburgh Penguins trade Connor Sheary and Kasperi Kapanen to the Montreal Canadiens for Arturi Lehkonen and a second-round pick in 2017. Ottawa Senators re-signed Seth Jones to a 6-year deal worth $5.4 million per season. Tampa Bay Lightning re-signed Ryan Johansson to an 8-year deal worth $7 million per season. Pittsburgh Penguins signed Alex Radulov to a 1-year deal worth $5.5 million. Calgary Flames signed Justin Abdelkader to a 6-year deal worth $4.5 million per season. This is how the standings look like after the 2016-17 season. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Ottawa Senators, followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and Columbus Blue Jackets. The Boston Bruins hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Tampa Bay Lightning hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the New York Rangers, New York Islanders, Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres, and New Jersey Devils. In first place in the Central Division are the Chicago Blackhawks, followed by the Colorado Avalanche and Minnesota Wild. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Anaheim Ducks, followed by the Edmonton Oilers and San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Calgary Flames hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Western Conference are the St. Louis Blues, Arizona Coyotes, Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, LA Kings, and Vancouver Canucks. The Pittsburgh Penguins win the Stanley Cup in 6 games over the Nashville Predators. There are some major changes at the 2017 draft. Since the Columbus Blue Jackets don't have William Karlsson anymore, the Vegas Golden Knights select Alexander Wenberg instead. The 8th pick in the 2017 draft belongs to the Edmonton Oilers. This pick was acquired via the Taylor Hall trade. The 25th pick in the 2017 draft belongs to the Colorado Avalanche. This pick was acquired via the Matt Duchene trade. The 28th pick in the 2017 draft belongs to the Nashville Predators. This pick was acquired via the Seth Jones trade. Changes in the 2017 draft. The LA Kings select Cale Makar. Buffalo Sabres select Nick Suzuki. Edmonton Oilers select Casey Mittelstadt. Vegas Golden Knights select Elias Anderson. Arizona Coyotes select Gabriel Velarde. St. Louis Blues select Eric Brandstrom. New York Rangers select Callan Foote. Tampa Bay Lightning select Timothy Liljegren. San Jose Sharks select Robert Thomas. Montreal Canadiens select Josh Norris. Colorado Avalanche select Morgan Frost. And the Nashville Predators select Shane Bowers. A few trades are made in the 2017 offseason. A 3-team trade is made between the Tampa Bay Lightning, Chicago Blackhawks, and New York Rangers. Tampa Bay Lightning get Artemi Panarin and John Gilmore. Chicago Blackhawks get JT Miller, Anthony Cirelli, and a first-round pick in 2019. New York Rangers get Tyler Johnson, Ryan Hartman, Gustav Forsling, and a second-round pick in 2019. Columbus Blue Jackets trade Brendan Saad, Ryan Murray, and a third-round pick in 2019 to the Edmonton Oilers for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Chris Russell. Detroit Red Wings trade Jimmy Howard to the Buffalo Sabres for Linus Ullmark, Jake McCabe, and a second-round pick in 2018. Edmonton Oilers trade Matt Barzal and a first-round pick in 2019 to the Carolina Hurricanes for Noah Hanifin, Martin Necas, and a first-round pick in 2019. Columbus Blue Jackets re-signed Thomas Tatar to a 4-year deal worth $5.3 million per season. Nashville Predators re-signed Mika Zibanejad to a 5-year deal worth $5.35 million per season. New York Rangers re-signed Tyler Johnson to a 6-year deal worth $5.5 million per season. Pittsburgh Penguins re-signed Alex Radulov to a 3-year deal worth $6.25 million per season. Tampa Bay Lightning re-signed Artemi Panarin to a 2-year deal worth $6 million per season. Carolina Hurricanes signed Franz Nielsen to a 5-year deal worth $5 million per season. There will be some major changes in standings after the 2017-18 season. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and Columbus Blue Jackets. The Ottawa Senators hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Detroit Red Wings hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Florida Panthers, Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes, Montreal Canadiens, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Buffalo Sabres, and New Jersey Devils. In first place in the Central Division are the Nashville Predators, followed by the Winnipeg Jets and Colorado Avalanche. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Vegas Golden Knights, followed by the Anaheim Ducks and San Jose Sharks. The Edmonton Oilers hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Minnesota Wild hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out in the playoffs in the Western Conference are the St. Louis Blues, Arizona Coyotes, LA Kings, Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, Calgary Flames, and Vancouver Canucks. The Washington Capitals win the Stanley Cup in 5 games over the Vegas Golden Knights. There are going to be some changes in the 2018 draft. Changes in the 2018 draft: New Jersey Devils draft Rasmus Dahlin, Buffalo Sabres draft Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes draft Brady Tkachuk, New York Islanders draft Jesperi Kotkaniemi, New York Rangers draft Philip Zadina, Dallas Stars draft Barrett Hayton, LA Kings draft Evgeny Kravtsov, Montreal Canadiens draft Evan Bouchard, Philadelphia Flyers draft Ty Dellandrea, Detroit Red Wings draft Ty Smith, Minnesota Wild draft Martin Kaut, Toronto Maple Leafs draft Liam Foudy, Edmonton Oilers draft Jay O'Brien, Columbus Blue Jackets draft Rasmus Kupari, and the Colorado Avalanche draft Philip Johansson. A few trades are made in the 2018 offseason. A 3-team trade is made between the Ottawa Senators, Calgary Flames, and Dallas Stars. Ottawa Senators get Roope Hintz, Sam Bennett, Adam Fox, a first-round pick in 2019 from Calgary, and a first-round pick in 2020 from Dallas. Calgary Flames get Erik Karlsson, Dallas Stars get Dougie Hamilton. The Arizona Coyotes don't trade Max Domi for Alex Galchenyuk. Instead, the Montreal Canadiens end up trading Alex Galchenyuk to the Carolina Hurricanes for Jeff Skinner. Detroit Red Wings trade Anthony Mantha, Vela Pronik, and a first-round pick in 2021 to the Anaheim Ducks for Andre Kase and Cam Fowler. Carolina Hurricanes acquire Matt Duchene from the Ottawa Senators for Julian Gauthier and a first-round pick in 2019. New York Islanders trade John Tavares to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Nazem Kadri, Jake Gardiner, and conditional first-round pick in 2020 if the Toronto Maple Leafs re-sign John Tavares. Calgary Flames re-sign Erik Karlsson to an 8-year deal worth $11 million per season. Chicago Blackhawks re-sign JT Miller to a 6-year deal worth $5.5 million per season. Edmonton Oilers signed Robin Lehner to a 1-year deal, and the New York Islanders signed Mikko Koskinen to a 1-year deal. The changes made will have a major effect on the 2018-19 season. In first place in the Eastern Conference are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and Carolina Hurricanes. The Detroit Red Wings hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Columbus Blue Jackets hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Ottawa Senators, Florida Panthers, Montreal Canadiens, Philadelphia Flyers, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Buffalo Sabres, and New Jersey Devils. In first place in the Central Division are the Nashville Predators, followed by the Colorado Avalanche and Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Calgary Flames, followed by the Edmonton Oilers and Arizona Coyotes. The Dallas Stars hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the San Jose Sharks hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Vegas Golden Knights, St. Louis Blues, Chicago Blackhawks, Anaheim Ducks, Vancouver Canucks, Minnesota Wild, and LA Kings. The Tampa Bay Lightning end up winning the Stanley Cup in 6 games over the Edmonton Oilers. The biggest winners in this scenario are the Tampa Bay Lightning, Detroit Red Wings, Arizona Coyotes, Carolina Hurricanes, and Edmonton Oilers. The biggest losers in this scenario are the Buffalo Sabres, New Jersey Devils, Montreal Canadiens, St. Louis Blues, and Vegas Golden Knights. The Tampa Bay Lightning have a dangerous core of Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, Victor Hedman, Braden Point, Ryan Johansson, and Andrei Vasilevsky. The Detroit Red Wings have a deadly core featuring Steven Stamkos, Taylor Hall, Dylan Larkin, Cam Fowler, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Andre Kase. The Arizona Coyotes have built a fantastic young core with the likes of Kyle Connor, Matthew Tkachuk, Max Domi, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Nick Schmaltz. The Carolina Hurricanes have a powerhouse team with a core that features Matt Duchene, Phil Kessel, Matt Barzal, Jacob Slavin, Teuvo Teravainen, Nino Niederreiter, Justin Falk, and Jordan Staal. Have built a championship team with a core that features Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, William Karlsson, Andreas Athanasiou, and Clayton Keller. The Buffalo Sabres and New Jersey Devils are perennial bottom feeders and have found themselves rebuilding for the last 3 years. Vegas Golden Knights and St. Louis Blues both lose out on critical players and find themselves missing the playoffs. Montreal Canadiens added Jeff Skinner, but lost out on Phil Deneau, Max Domi, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, which leaves a gaping hole at center. The biggest takeaway from this scenario is that if Steven Stamkos gets traded, the whole landscape of the NHL would be different. On the next What If scenario, what if the Buffalo Sabres traded Jack Eichel?